You today, joining you from Anaheim, California, where I'm here for the National Career Development Association conference. And I am excited to be here and be in person with people. So fun to see people and talk about what is going on in the career space. Now, here at the National Career Development Association, very focused on our academic colleagues who work in the higher education arena, but we do have some independent practitioners here as well, and fun to see some of the great things that our colleagues are doing and the ways that they are helping clients. But today we're going to talk about what is going on for us in this profession when we're looking at the possibility of a recession. And we've got board members and colleagues all over the globe that are talking about how things are shifting. I'd love to hear how they're shifting in your area, whether you're in the US or you're watching this later from Australia or the UK. What's going on for you and what are you seeing for you and your clients? So we're going to talk about 3 trends that we're seeing and 3 things that are related to those that you and your clients can do to keep going, to flourish in this upcoming recession. Now, we're not really new to this anymore, right? We just had this same conversation about exactly 2 years ago when COVID was coming, and we weren't quite sure how that was going to impact jobs or our services. And now we're having it again. So those of you that have been around maybe since even the 2008 recession, we talked about what we learned then. And now we can talk about what we learned just 2 years ago that we might be able to apply now if a recession comes to you in your location. So the first thing that we always talk about is really the opportunity to be digital. And this is going to create opportunities for people across the globe. It also is just critical right now for employers to see your clients' digital skills and for your clients to see you digitally. I did a presentation yesterday afternoon to a packed room of our colleagues here, thirsty at the National Career Development Association for knowledge of what's going on in the tech space. I talked about trends in hiring technology and job search technology. Our clients expect us to understand this because they are being expected to be technologically savvy by their companies, right? And they're going to come to you, both whether it's in an institution or independently, and expect you to understand what's going on with technology. Now, this doesn't mean that you have to be an expert in all the technologies out there, but it does mean that you want to keep your ear to the ground and really see what's coming. And that's why you come here, right? And you listen. So share with your colleagues because they need to know as well for our industry to maintain credibility. We have to know what's going on. The new systems that are out there in the recruiting world, as well as the technologies that our clients might be using to job search, right? To use Hunter for their job search management or Teal or Loop CV to send out applications. If we're not at least knowledgeable that those pieces are out there, we are going to have a hard time connecting with some of those clients, lose our credibility, and not be as useful as we could be. So I'll drop the few links to a few other classes or things that I've posted that give you some of those technologies. If you're interested, let me know. Happy to send you other links that we've been talking about. And of course, we have our Tech Jam coming up at the end of July, where we're going to bring some people in from some of these technologies to talk about what's going on, and where I'll also be able to share some more of what I'm learning with you in that tech space. What systems can we use to help people and to facilitate our work in a digital space? What can we do to help them demonstrate their digital skills? And then what can we do to help them understand the digital landscape in terms of job search? But it's so much bigger than that, right? There are so many opportunities to use technology today, and we've really got to be up on that understanding. Hi, Sandy. Thank you. Awesome. I'll send you some links and I'll post them here as well. We'll share, of course, we've got our social media for job search strategists coming up, and that's what this program is all about. How do we help people build their digital footprint, if you will, very thoughtfully so that they can not only get found for opportunities, but that they can connect and grow in the digital communities that they want to be a part of for their professional tenure or for the next few years, because that proactive opportunity is bigger than it has ever been. And we've got the opportunity to help people get into those communities digitally in maybe a way that they could never access them before. So done some sessions on that, and I'll bring those up as I'll put them in the chat, some of the more introductory sessions that we are doing. Okay, so that's the first thing. Be digitally ready, because that is an increasing opportunity for people to connect. And they've got to know how to use the technology to demonstrate that to the employers. And then you and I need to understand those technologies so that we can have credibility with our clients. And it was so much fun doing that presentation, doing the research for it. So I'll be sharing some of that with you over the next few weeks as well. So the second trend is really thinking about how do we stay in contact with what's coming next. And of course, this is my goal, and my role in our industry is to stay in touch with what's coming next. But that is your client's challenge, and it's also your challenge to stay with what's coming next so that we can keep on top of it and be as marketable as we can be in our industry. Now, the challenge with this is that what's coming next is often a slew of dichotomies. So we've got to figure out how to navigate these dichotomies in a way that makes sense. So you might hear that everything's going digital, but then you might also hear that one-to-one networking is so much more powerful now than it's ever really even been before, because companies are inundated, because companies maybe don't want to post salaries for jobs, so they are networking to find people more. So it can feel like this either or, and I just encourage us to always look for that place where those two things meet, because it's rarely an either or, even though we seem infatuated with that right now in our society. It's where do those two things come together, because it's not that it's all digital or that it's all these relationships. It's really both. How can you use the digital to find and build these relationships? And yes, those relationships are going to be even more important today. And we might see the dichotomy for people in a lot of different ways. How are we going to market our services? Is it at whatever? We feel this pull to go one way or the other. And there are times that that's important, right? Clarity in our brand, clarity in who we serve, clarity in how we serve. Those tenets of who we are and how we work, clarity there matters. And there may be some dichotomies that you are referencing when you're doing that, but be careful of the false dichotomies, if you will, and help your clients watch out for that as well when they're looking at companies. A company isn't good or evil. A company isn't, inclusive or not. We want to help them research and really understand the area that they want to go into and what that looks like and how they are going to make those decisions, and navigating the fact that everything is complex. And maybe the department that they're looking at is really forward thinking, even though some of the things out there about an organization may not, or vice versa, that they may have a company may be putting out this great literature about how inclusive they are, or forward thinking, or conservative, depending what our clients are looking for. But is that true about the direct area that they'd be working in, and what is really important to them? So doing that research and digging a little bit deeper for ourselves and for our clients, so that they understand if this organization, if this opportunity is going to be a good fit, and avoid some of the me or them type of thinking. We see that a lot when it comes to recruiters. And, is it beneficial to anyone to get into that me or them stance, especially when it comes to the companies you're trying to work for? Probably not. So being careful of that and really understanding that difference between being clear about who you are and what you stand for, and getting caught up in those false dichotomies, those either ors that hurt them, and helping them navigate that can be really powerful. All right. So the last one kind of follows along with that, is that people still hire people, and people are still going to spend money no matter what. There are going to be jobs open at companies that lay off 1,000 people yesterday. It's just the way it is. And how can we help them, our clients, and ourselves keep our momentum, keep our buoyancy, keep our hope, even though things may look bad? There's always opportunity. There's always opportunity. In fact, sometimes the recession creates opportunity. And we may have clients that took a resignation 6 months ago and now are struggling because that has put them in a position that they weren't expecting. How can we help them navigate that, use their mindset tools to move forward and look for those opportunities? And Susan Britton always said, don't look for openings. The openings are small, opportunities are big. And that has to be the mindset that we adopt for our clients and also for ourselves. And for those of you who are in business, just a little note here, please don't discount your main services during this time. If you are a coach and your main package is $750 for however many sessions, don't discount that service. Why? Because it will take you years to get back to where you were. And guess what? You are dealing with inflation too. And cutting your services might make it unreasonable for you. And that doesn't work. You can't serve others if you can't pay your own bills and feed your family. Find creative ways to offer maybe more palatable entry points for your clients. Smaller session packages, smaller services, meet them where they're at, set up a course, do an ebook, have a one-off session offering, do things that are still holding the same value for your service and your time, but may give people an entry point because they still have money they can spend. They're being more cautious about it. So they may want a smaller entry point to get to know you, to build that know, like, trust factor. And then when they want to make that purchase, you want to be charging your normal amount for that purchase, even though they had that lower end entry point. And maybe they get to apply that towards the bigger service, whatever that helps you create that incentive feeling without discounting your time and your expertise. People need that urgency. They need some kind of incentive, but be careful about discounting your time and your services to create that. Is there something extra that you can throw on that doesn't take a lot of your time or effort? Is there a time limit that you can create, something that creates that urgency and or that feel of incentive without discounting your services? Because once you do that again, then it's very challenging to get back to what you've been charging before. So I'll leave you with this thought that the opportunity has never been greater, especially for career services providers. Yes, you're going to see some new people enter this space. I'm hearing, coaching programs, counseling programs are full. That's awesome, because I'm also seeing people that can't find a counselor, can't find a coach. Everybody's busy. Resume writers have a month-long waiting list, right? So if you don't have that in your practice, it's out there and it's available. Let's talk about how we get you there. If you do have that in your practice, find some referral partners so that you can serve those clients by referral, even though you may not be able to serve them quickly, and you may still have your waiting list, and that's great. And yes, there's going to be new people entering this space. Let's welcome them. Let's help them grow. Let's welcome them into our community so that they can serve as good as they can, as quickly as they can, because that's how we keep our industry credible, is each person that does this work doing it as good as they can, and hopefully, having those great outcomes. And they are not taking away from your opportunity. We are the only ones that do that to ourselves. They're not going to eat away at your opportunity if you are marketing, connecting, having that conversation with your ideal audience, if you're clear about that, you're clear about the value that you offer, you have no competition. And that's the way that we've lived at Career Thought Leaders since its inception, 20 years ago. And that's what people love about our community. And I'd encourage you to join with us in that abundance mindset, even in a time like this, because it will come back to you tenfold. And if you are feeling that challenge in your business or in your services of not having enough, let's chat, reach out to me, and let's figure out how we can get you on a path to help the thousands of millions of people that need help right now. Because I'm seeing it. I'm seeing record numbers of people reaching out for help with career issues, with life issues, with communication issues, and we can help them. But they don't know where you are and they don't know how to find you, especially if you're not clear on what you do and what you offer and the value that people will get out of working with you. So I encourage us for ourselves to see those opportunities so that we can then bring that same abundance mindset to our clients in this challenging time when we're going to start to feel that crunch. We're going to start to feel that kind of closing in of things getting smaller and there not being opportunity. And we can model that for them in the way that we create our opportunities, and then have the skills and confidence really to help them do it for themselves. So it's always a joy talking to all of you. I'm going to get back to the NCDA conference. If you've been at the conference, please feel free to reach out. I look forward to connecting with you. If you, want to connect about anything else that I chatted about today, let me know, and I will look forward to seeing you all next Tuesday. Thank you, everyone.